Welcome, Couch Beers Nation, Couch Beers Republic. I thought of another one on the ride home from work today.
Yeah?
Don't remember what it was.
The People's Republic
Couch Beers.
Couch Beers?
Couch Beer Citizens. Episode 27.
NBD.
We're here.
Fuck.
What'd you do? Spill on yourself?
It's pretty. They filled this beer up all the way.
It's okay. It's a leather couch. It won't sink in. You know what? Okay. So, I don't know why I'm bringing this up very first thing. We got these, like, vitamin waters, but Costco brand. They're Vita Rain. They're literally filled up to the tippy top of the bottle.
Yes.
It's like if you tip the bottle over, there's no air bubble. I don't know how they do it. Every single one is like that.
Thanks. You can thank Jim Senegal for that.
It's gotta be him. Is he still involved?
I don't think so. He might be on the board. I don't think he's like an employee or anything though. I don't know. Someone fact check me. Yeah, he's on the board.
Nice. We actually got a review via tweet from an avid Couch Beer listener, Andrew, about the last episode. You want to hear it?
Yeah, a review. Okay. Wow.
He said, at Couch Beers Pod. I keep forgetting to plug the Twitter and Instagram at the end of every episode like I used to. At Couch Beers Pod. The pencil talk was elite and captivating. Love the crypto talk too. That has to be a regular segment from now on. Hashtag CouchCoin.
CouchCoin. We're going to start our own crypto? I mean, you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Time out.
No, I'm
Pencil
pretty sure
talk.
that's illegal.
What are you talking about?
We're talking about mechanical pencils, and
Oh, yeah.
actually Sam texted me. He said, "I'm not happy about your carpenter pencil slander," and he gave me some. He look at this text he sent me. Look how long that is. He was like
Wait,
giving me,
that thing? Wow.
he was giving me recommendations about mechanical
Slander.
pencils to use for carpentry.
That they don't break.
I do have an update though. So I said I was going to be doing some woodworking over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I did a bunch.
Cool.
And even my 0.5 millimeter Bic didn't break that much. I mean, it broke a little bit, but it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
So there you go.
So you're a Bic guy, huh?
Yeah, I might do some exploring for other options, but who knows? We also have a fact check from Sam. I said the Birdhouse, I was talking about the restaurant, the Birdhouse was in Brooklyn Center or something. No, it's in Robbinsdale, which is why it's called the Birdhouse. Like Robin.
Oh, I get it.
He said anything bird themed, there's a good chance it's in Robbinsdale.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Huh. That's a good fact check. That's a good one.
Yep. And I also, for the very first time, went back and listened to part of the podcast because I wanted to fact check myself.
Did
When
you
I
know
was-
which episode you talked about something?
What?
What? Oh.
I fact checked myself of the last episode.
Oh, so episode 26.
Yes.
Gotcha. I thought you
So-
meant, it sounded like you went back to like episode 4 and you're like, I
No,
just thought
no,
of something. And I was like, that's weird and precise.
I wanted to go back and listen to what I said about crypto and Ethereum more specifically. And make sure that I made points that were well vocalized, and I wanted to fact check myself. So I got some fact checks for me.
So you got to correct yourself.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So probably the biggest one that I think someone else that would be involved with crypto would hear and be like, that guy's an amateur. I used Ether and Ethereum interchangeably, which they shouldn't be. Basically, Ethereum is the network. Ether is the asset.
Okay.
Yeah.
I use them interchangeably, so.
Yeah, and a lot of people do, like even people that are very involved in crypto. But
So, like, Polkadot, is that a network or a currency or like a
both.
asset? So Polkadot
Also,
is its own network.
Same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, capital B, Bitcoin is the network. Lowercase b, Bitcoin is the asset.
Isn't that semantics? Aren't we dancing on that
Yes.
fine line of
Yeah,
semantics?
For
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Okay, so that was number one. Number two, I said this backwards, so I'm going to correct myself now. The amount of Ether burned from EIP 159 will be greater than the new issuance post-merge. I said it would be less than, but. And then number three, more of a clarification. I don't think I ever really said this wrong, but validators propose the blocks in the chain and a separate group of nodes validate that the blocks that were proposed are legitimate. So there's 2 separate groups. I kind of meshed them together.
That's fine. I need context for that to stick. You could probably be saying a lot of crazy things, and I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, you were wrong the first time, Tim.
Okay, and then I did kind of want to follow up because I want to make kind of my conviction and my position more clear, because I went on a very bullish rant about Ethereum, but I want people to understand that my time horizon is like a decade, like it's not a get rich quick thing. Like since that podcast came out, I think the price of Ethereum has got down like 40%.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say, like, interesting how you're really kind of pivoting what you...
Yeah.
You're changing your time horizon.
And actually, I wrote that, like, I went back and listened to it right away, and I wrote this then. So, like, before the price went down a lot. But yes, my time horizon, like, my vision for what Ethereum could be is going to take 10 years plus. So there's that. And also, I understand it's very hard for someone. You can't like borrow someone else's conviction. You have to develop it yourself.
Yeah. Well, conviction, I feel like, is a individual thing. Otherwise, it's just like a strong opinion, right? Like, I don't know. What is the definition of conviction?
Don't know. Should I look it up?
I can.
You look it up and I'll keep talking.
Yep, keep talking.
The other thing I wanted to say, so there's no reason to, FOMO, fear of missing out. There's like
no, I'm not, but
so there's like the idea when you think you're going to miss out on this amazing thing that I presented last time, right? I'm telling you right now, you're not. So don't just take my word for it. Go out and look up like what I'm talking about. There's tons of great resources. Ethereum.org. There's like, they break it down so simply and give you examples of exactly how like this thing is amazing. But so after 2018, after the peak of that crypto cycle, it went down for the entire year of 2018. And it bottomed after literally one full year, almost to the day. And it didn't make new all-time highs for 2 years. So if today, right now, $1,000 Ethereum is the bottom of the like Ethereum price for this whole cycle.
Ether price.
There you go. Ether price for this whole cycle. It could be another 2 years before it makes a new all-time high. So you have time to learn about this stuff.
Yeah.
You have time to decide if this is something you want to invest in. Don't just do it because I said it's a good idea.
Don't do anything just because someone else tells you to do something. You should
Exactly. Develop your own conviction.
Yep, and let's find out what conviction means. Develop your own.
I just spilled beer on my
Good.
iPad.
Okay, so there's 2. I kind of like the first one, but I think the second one is more applicable.
Okay.
Conviction, noun. A formal declaration that someone is guilty of a criminal offense made by the verdict of a jury or the decision of a judge in a court of law. She had a previous conviction for it. The wrong one. Sorry. So then the second one is a firmly held belief or opinion.
There you
She
go.
takes pride in stating her political convictions. I like the first one. Sorry.
Funny.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to jail, baby.
see you there, baby.
The other thing that I wrote down as kind of a question mark is when I was talking about airdrops, you kind of had this confused look on your face. Like, why would they just give away their tokens to their users? And I thought of a good analogy. It's basically like an airdrop is like an IPO where they're taking a private company and selling shares for an initial price offering, except that would be illegal in cryptocurrency because that was like all of 2017. These companies were doing ICOs, initial coin offerings. But then the SEC came out and said, yeah, you can't do that. If you can't sell equities like that in an unregulated market. So they had to come up with a new way to distribute their tokens.
And they're distributing them through... It's like you're buying... Explain it one more time, real quick.
An airdrop, basically, they're giving away tokens that they're not direct equity. because then that would make them into security. But a lot of times they have value accrual, like
Okay.
a dividend stock. But
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I didn't bring my laptop because I was running around errands. I worked late a little bit today, so I had to run some errands. So I just drove right here. So, but you gotta show me how to buy the real stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I can do that.
I want you to hold my hand through it, so then I feel comfortable doing it.
I think I've told you before, like I like FTX, but FTX is a little bit more complicated. I think the easiest way to do it is to just buy it on Coinbase. Coinbase has been
the thing that
forever.
just laid off 1,000 employees.
yeah, 18% of their workforce.
Yeah. Oh, I had a. Sorry, I'm changing gears.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You want to continue with crypto and all that stuff, or
nope.
No?
I will oblige Andrew, and I did bring something to share with the class at the end of the episode
For crypto.
Yes.
Oh. No, I was gonna say. I don't know. It was a conversation I had with Brian,
friend of the show.
I don't know if he listens, but
I don't think he does. I haven't heard him ever say.
But I think he would be a good guest on the show. We should get him a
hilarious.
guest on here sometime.
I agree.
No, but I was talking with him about like the Elon Musk Twitter acquisition, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I've only read pretty much I don't want to say tabloids, but just the really brief stuff on like Yahoo Finance, and then I don't care anymore.
Yep.
And then a little bit of Wall Street Bet stuff. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't weigh a lot on that, but I think it's interesting how people talk about things. But Brian, he was talking about it because he said he read an article, and I thought it made sense. So a lot of people think Elon Musk is an idiot, and I don't think he's an idiot at all. I just think he doesn't care about, like, money doesn't mean, billions don't mean anything to him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He cares less about that and more about the end result, I guess. But
right.
To further that point, Brian was saying how there are talks about, like this, how he said everyone has to be 40 hours a week. Working from home is not a thing anymore,
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, oh my gosh, knee jerk. And I'm just like, okay, he's doing it for a reason. I just don't know the reason. I don't think he's an idiot. I think he's doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
And I told that to Brian, and Brian's like, yeah, there's speculation that maybe he's doing that to get people to willfully quit, and then he doesn't have to pay unemployment.
Could be. Yeah.
And that's his reasoning is like also like
and they don't have to give him a severance package.
Yeah, so he's looking years in the future, and maybe he sees a big recession in his crystal ball, and he's just like, yeah, wow, if I can get half my workforce to willingly just leave, I don't have to deal with all that crap. Like, he can save I don't know what the dollars are, but that was an opinion that I was like, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I also provided the opinion of, I don't think it's a political thing. I think it might just be, maybe there is a performance issue with people who work from home.
Yeah.
And that's his way of just being like, if you're not willing to come in, then you get, you're gone.
Yeah. I think
I don't know.
Part of it, I mean, I can see where he's coming from. Maybe he's just got like the old school attitude where like you got to see people in person.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's his company. And like, he's not forcing anybody to work for him, So, and I think someone working at Tesla, if they wanted to, like that's a pretty nice thing on your resume to have,
Oh yeah.
And then be able to probably get any job you want.
Really? And then why'd you leave Tesla? Have you seen the news? Like, like you could just be like, I like working hybrid model or something,
Right.
Like,
and there's a lot of companies that are going to stay that way.
And I think I'm not trying to say, to be competitive, companies do need to be more flexible with everything.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I will say, for me specifically, I prefer being in office 3 to 4 times a week and having the option to work remote kind of as I see fit.
Yeah.
Right now I'm trying to get 3 days remote just because I have a gas guzzling vehicle, and it hurts the pocketbook now when gas is $4.75 a gallon. So
right.
But like if it was $3 a gallon, I'd be at work every damn day. Like it's not that I don't love it or I don't go because I love it. I just
Right.
I like being around the people and I think there is like a sense of culture and company culture and
Right.
stuff like that I just absolutely I kind of thrive off of, and I think it's cool to see like specifically at my job with warehouse employees.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be there for their job, right?
Right.
So I like showing like I'm not this person sitting in an ivory tower because I can. I like kind of being the
Man on the street.
man on the street. That's kind of a weird way to put it. The oldest profession in the world. But no, I don't know. So I think there's Anyway,
No,
I just wanted
I
to-
get what you're saying for sure.
but I wanted to bring that up about Elon Musk because I know there are some people who really they think he's the biggest moron on the planet, and I'm just like, I don't think he's as dumb as you think by a stretch. But
No.
I think he pushes the envelope a lot intentionally because he's like, I think this is dumb, and I'm going to try to exploit it, or you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, he's a troll for sure.
Yeah, and
And I think a lot of people just are sour on him because he's so rich, and it's like an anti-capitalism kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, poo.
Yep. To each their own, I guess.
Oh, this is a fun thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I talked about this last time. So, one of our suppliers in Europe at my company, they reached out and said, "Hey, you owe us like 500 euro of an invoice." And I'm like, "What is this thing from 2021? What is that year? That's not I was like, how come I was unaware? We don't have anything." And I was like, "This is really fishy and suspicious to me. I don't like this." 500 euros for those who are math magicians. It's like
$650.
there you go, something like that. No, it's actually probably more like I'd say more like
700?
$590 maybe.
Oh, really?
The exchange rate's like 1.04 or something
Dang.
to the USD.
USA.
Yeah, but so then I go talk to purchasing, and I'm like, "Hey Todd, what the hell is this? Like, this seems really weird. Why would I ever pay this?"
Mm-hmm.
And Todd's like, "Oh, they're samples. So we got samples from our supplier for like potential products."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "I thought they gave us those samples." He's like,
Yeah.
"Well, they did, but the European Union or whatever, their regulations surrounding invoices and goods and international are highly, highly, highly restrictive because of fraud, mafia, stuff like that, like organized crime."
Weird.
So like it's like they have to show that it was paid by your international supplier.
Yeah.
So what they're like, just pay it, and we're going to give you a $500 euro credit on your next invoice. So it's going to wash, but they're just. I was kind of like, this is so stupid. Like, why am I paying this? Why are we doing this? And it's like, oh, they can't just make an invoice go away like we can in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is absolutely baffling because they're doing exactly what they're doing. They're getting payment for it, but then they're just giving it right back.
Yeah.
So
Weird.
I don't know. It's bizarre. So,
I thought you were gonna say it was like a scam phishing email or something.
oh no. Sometimes I like those though.
Yeah.
Like when the president of the company emails me with poor grammar. "Will you please update my banking information to this? Hey, Aaron, you can do this yourself." And then, of course, I don't respond because I know it's spam and phishing crap. But
They our corporate people started sending out like fake phishing emails that you're supposed to like mark as phishing. And they're so obvious. I'm like, there's no way people are actually following for these. Because like even when you hover over the whatever, it's like open the document here. When you hover over the button, it says like do not click this link in the URL or something like that.
yeah, we had that at my last company,
Yeah.
and I laughed at it too because it's such a joke. Because it really is. But now, if you think about it, for me transitioning to this job, they don't have any of that.
Yeah.
Everything I do, all the things that it kind of trained me to do. Hover over the link.
Yeah.
Is it what it says it is? Okay, maybe. I'm doing all these
Yeah.
things and I'm doing all these checks, and then, I'm sure you watch the videos. When
Mhm.
in doubt, throw it out.
Yeah. I just always have been very internet paranoid, so I've always kind of done that stuff.
Good.
My computer got hacked in college, so I think since then it's been.
Was that
I've
by?
been on lockdown.
Was that by Sebastian? Oh.
No, by Vitalik Buterin. No. I was like, I'm a tinkerer, right? So I was like downloading some weird programs on my computer. I don't even remember what it was for, but I think I traced it back to doing that. But like, I was watching a YouTube video about how to like do something on your computer. Clicked the link in the description, and that was a scam link. So I think that's what got me. So they had.
So you don't know.
They had remote access. Well, no, yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was, based on the timing. They had remote access to my computer, and I would just leave my computer unlocked and like go downstairs, whatever, into our apartment. And then I got like a email on my phone that I'd bought something on PayPal. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, you
So
you talked about this before.
Have I told this story?
I think, was this the last episode? Come on, you listened to it, man.
Actually, it probably was. That's hilarious. No, I didn't listen to the whole thing. I listened to just to the last like 45 minutes or whatever we were talking about crypto.
Yeah, it was 45 minutes, wasn't it? How long was that episode? Was that the longest episode to date?
No, we did one that was like 2 hours. That was like an hour and a half.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay,
I won't rehash the story.
Okay, but no, so you got hacked and
Yes.
you figured it out and...
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it all sorted.
What else you got in your bag of tricks?
The only other thing I had written down on here, besides my last little note, was actually, okay, I got two things. I didn't write one down, but I just remembered it.
Oh.
I'll start with that one. So I wasn't able to share this story with you, even off air, until now, because it really came together after the last episode. So I don't think you know anything about this, but so my friend and podcast superfan Sam got married like a couple weeks after the last episode.
Who did he marry?
His now wife Stacy.
Okay.
They've been together since high school. And
11 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years? I think it was 12 years. And in high school, Sam bought this 1995, I think, F-250. The biggest engine they had. It's so big it had 2 gas tanks. Just this like
Monster V8.
Like, huge truck, right?
Okay.
And he loved it. It was a manual. He drove it all over town. He actually worked 2 jobs. One of them was at a gas station. Basically, he worked the second job just to pay for the gas for that thing. Because he would fill it up and they would take it out of his paycheck. Oh. He got negative paychecks sometimes. But he sold it after, like, when he was broke living in North Dakota for, like, nothing. And he's regretted it ever since.
Well, why'd he sell it in North Dakota if he was living in North Dakota for next to nothing?
No, he was broke, but he sold the truck for, like, nothing.
Oh, he sold the truck for nothing.
Yeah. Damn. So, yeah, he's regretted it ever since. And he's been talking about wanting to get one forever. And is like, I don't know when I'll do it, but I want to get another one. And a year ago, literally last May 2021, Stacy got in contact with our friend Brendan and said, I want you to help me try and find a truck so I can buy for Sam as a wedding present. And so she had Brendan did all the legwork. Brendan and Stacy did. But Brad and I were involved too, former podcast guest Brad. And she finally she had a whole bunch that she was looking at, whatever. This one that she ended up buying was in Idaho. So 3 weeks before their wedding, she flew to Idaho to look at it.
How did she do this secretly? Hold on, does he have the truck?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so he's aware.
Yeah.
He's not going to listen to this and be like,
no, he's heard the story now.
Okay.
She flew to Idaho, looked at the truck, paid them, and missed her flight home. So she ended up having to stay overnight. She told Sam that she was like there was a bad storm and she was helping out her friend on his farm because they had I don't know the whole story that she gave him, but okay. That's what she told him. And he totally ate it up. He had no idea. And it got to the point Sam was talking about wanting one of these trucks so much that as Brendan was like finding them and Brendan and Stacy were looking at them, Brendan would just send them to Sam and be like, look at this sweet one. And Sam would like tell him if he likes it or not. So Sam had actually seen this exact truck because Brendan sent it to him. And he was like, that is so sweet. It's so clean. It was like, for what it is, not that much. Like it was a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So Stacy flew out there, paid for it, flew home the next day. And Brad and I were like going to fly out there and drive it back. But the owner was like, it's a 1996. You know, it hasn't gotten driven that much the last few years. You probably shouldn't try to drive it 28 hours back to Minnesota. So Stacy ended up having to get it shipped here. So she shipped it to our house. And it showed up 5 days before their wedding. So I just parked it on the side of our house. Then 2 days before, or 3 days before the wedding,
no, 2 days.
Sam's sisters came over and decorated it. So I drove it to get it washed and drove it back. That's like half a mile. And so then the morning of the wedding, it's got painted on the back. It says like just married, everything real cute. So they got married on a farm. So I drive it that morning to the farm. I was supposed to meet at the hotel, all like the groomsmen and stuff. So I drive it to the farm and I look at my phone when we get there and I see I had a text from Stacy and she's like, we're 13 minutes away. Is it okay? I'm like, I just got here. I'll let you know. So I called the lady that was like organizing the wedding at the farm or whatever. And I'm like, do you have a place for me to park this? Like that Sam's not going to see. And they have a trolley. They can like transport people on the property.
Okay.
So they pulled the trolley out of the barn and I parked the truck in the barn. And I run back because Alyssa followed me. I run back to Alyssa's car, hop in, we leave, turn out of the farm, get back on the highway. I look at my phone. Sam and Stacy were pulling in to the farm at that exact moment. So they just barely missed us. And so all day, like I'm pretty sure half the people at the wedding knew, but Sam had no idea. So
nice.
They go through the ceremony, get into the reception, and the plan was I was best man, go me. I give my toast. Sam and Stacy. Brendan prepared a video for them to watch because he's deployed right now.
Okay.
So he couldn't be there. So Sam and Stacy go to watch, and actually, I totally forgot. Sam didn't know about the video. I leaned over to them. I'm like, where's Brendan's video being played? And Sam's like, what? And I was like, where's Brendan's video being played? And Sam goes, Brendan made a video? And I look over at Stacy and she's giving me the death eyes. I'm like, oh no. And then later she told me, she's like, I forgot to tell you. I was just joking. Like, I didn't care. I'm like, okay, good. I felt
well, the
so
truck
bad.
was probably a bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Bigger surprise or whatever.
So they start playing Brendan's video. I literally run outside, go to get the truck out of the barn. The barn door's locked. So we're like panicking. We found the lady that runs the property. She opens it up. I get the truck out.
The
drive
truck's
it.
Gone. Oh.
No, drive it right in front. Park it right outside where the reception was. Run back inside the back door. And they're like just finishing the video. And Stacy's like, okay, come outside. And like everyone gets up out of their seats, goes outside. Sam's got this beautiful truck that he'd been dreaming of, waiting for him right there. It was amazing. It all came together literally.
Did you just throw the keys at him? Like,
yeah, no, I just left the keys in there.
Did he cry then or just when he got married?
No, he cried a bunch. I did too.
But which time?
Like
with the truck or with?
He cried when he said, I'm going to start crying right now. Oh my gosh. And he said, Brendan made a video. He like started to tear up.
Oh.
I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I cried when I gave my toast.
You're crying now?
Starting to tear up a little bit right now.
Don't do it.
No, I can hold it in. During their ceremony, I was holding it in the whole time. I was like smiling, like, because it was like Stacy's dad gave a really good speech.
Nice.
During the ceremony, I was smiling because it was kind of silly. at parts, and then it got really heartfelt, and I was like still smiling, but then I had to stop because I had to like hold back my tears. I couldn't use any other muscles in my face.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's how it works, man.
Great wedding. Great people.
Yeah. Good. Well,
Yep.
About damn time.
Yep.
The guy, every time I've seen him, he's like, I'm going to marry that woman. I'm just like, I've never met her.
And in Brendan's video that he made, he said something like, I know people are saying that you guys waited way too long to get married, but my girlfriend's in the crowd, so I want to say you guys waited just the right amount of time. You can't rush perfection. That's pretty funny.
Classic. Well, good.
Anyway, thought you'd enjoy that story.
No, that was a great story.
I couldn't believe it. It all, literally the last 5 days, it all came together.
That's crazy. So she lied and said she has a friend in Idaho?
No, he didn't know she was in Idaho. He thought she was
okay,
like
how
up
did
north.
she hide that from him? How does he not? What if something happened?
So,
how the hell is he? Well, she's I don't know where she's at.
I'm not sure if I should give away who it was, but a friend of ours is a pilot. He's someone that's been mentioned and or been on this podcast before.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So he got Stacy on standby to fly
That's
out
not
there.
the point. Where did she say she was when she was
said
gone?
she was at her friend's farm.
In Idaho?
No, up north.
Okay, so Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if the worst thing that happened, Sam would be like, friend up in northern Minnesota, where is she? And they'd be like, well, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure he was in on it too.
Sam was not in on it
No,
because he did not know about the truck.
Her friend. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Actually, I'll show you later. There's an amazing picture of Stacy, like Sam hugging Stacy right next to the truck, right when they first walked out and saw it. It's like maybe the cutest picture I've ever seen in my entire life. But
if you had to put a song to it, which one would you put to it?
With arms wide open.
Nice. That was pretty good. That was really good.
That's the first one that came to my mind.
Hell yeah, brother. That's good.
I do have one other thing I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
So, a number of times, the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I've been like, I want to start meditating.
Amen.
So, I've always tried to do like a guided meditation app. And I know you have, I don't know, do you still meditate before you go to sleep?
I need to, but I don't. No.
But you did for a long
Falling
time.
off the wagon. Yeah, I did for a long time.
I don't know how. I do know how. I'm not good at it. And I know like everyone, that's kind of the same for everybody. It's hard to like shut off your mind and focus on your breathing or whatever. But I don't know how to get better. And I always just like, I'll do it for like 2 weeks and then won't do it anymore. How do I get so I can do it a lot and actually be good at it?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing is don't be on your phone the last hour of the night. So like when I did it, when I was religious about it, I was reading my book for 45 minutes or whatever, and then that kind of like that disconnected me from this device. Mm-hmm. And then I did the self-guiding thing, and honestly it took me like 8 minutes before I don't even remember what the hell it was talking about. But it's I mean, there are different ones. There are ones that like, I mean, I did Headspace. I really like that.
Yeah,
because
I've tried that one before. Yeah,
I like it because you can pick kind of like, what do I want to say, like themes. Yeah. So like, you know, like Midnight Train, and it's just like this distant train whistle in the distance, and it's like a British old man. It's almost like, you know, Sir Patrick Stewart or whatever. Just being like,
is it the same guy that does all of the ones for that app?
No. There's different ones for different things. But
it's funny, like I've listened to his like guided meditation stuff, and then I've like heard him talking on podcasts, and it's so weird to listen to him talking like just like a normal conversation.
Yeah, but no, so that's what I did. Just like disconnect from the phone, because if you sit on that phone right before you go to bed, you're not gonna be in that state to do it. But then,
so the way I was trying to do it, I was just like trying to do it in the middle of the day. So I wasn't trying to do it to go to sleep. But I think what I should do, maybe, is like wake up 20 minutes early and do it before I do anything else to start the day. Maybe that would be better, because then like I have such an active mind. I think that's probably when my mind is the least active, because like if I try and stop in the middle of the day to like sit down and do that, I'm just thinking about everything else that I'd been doing that day.
So the Headspace has like a wake up version of that.
Yeah.
And that's actually really sick too, because it's really, I did it a few times, and every time I do it, I'm kind of like, I hate how much it works so well.
Yeah.
But like, it's like when you wake up, you're in a dark room or wherever, you wake up, like as soon as you're awake, don't close your eyes or roll over or anything. Just look at blackness. Open your eyes and just stare into the blackness, and then just focus on your breathing.
I think one thing that helps with the guided meditation is like every time, because like if you've never done it, like the person is not talking the entire time. It's
right.
Like probably maybe only like a third of the time they're actually talking, and then the rest is like they like tell you, okay, focus on your breathing, try and count your breaths, and then they like won't say anything for like a minute or something. But I think the guided meditation, because I'm not good at focusing, is good, because when the voice comes in, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm supposed to be like thinking about my breathing,
Well, yeah, and the reason I like that too is like it says like, all right, just in, it's like, yeah, it talks about your breath, like what to do in through the nose, out through your mouth, or whatever. It kind of goes like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then like after like, they let you like do it for a little bit, and then they start talking about like, let all those things that you're, you have to do, just forget about them right now. Like they like kind of just like walk you off the ledge,
Right,
kind of. They're
right.
just like calm, like it's not important. What's important is like being present right now in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to really disconnect and be like, whoa, like this is good, like
yeah.
This is, because then it's like then you can really engage with the real life. But I need to get back into that as well.
Do you think I should, like, as I'm starting out, you think I should do it every day, or you think I should do it like 3 days a week?
Are we talking about just in the middle of the day, in the morning, at night, or anytime, or what?
I'm going to, on the podcast, commit to start doing it in the morning, because I think that'll be the best for me.
Okay. I would say with that kind of thing, well, hold on. So, because you're sleeping down here, so you don't have to really worry about Belinda or anything. So, I would just, count when you're awake or your alarm goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Count backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just say like I have to get up and like meditate.
Mm-hmm.
By actually counting down,
yep,
that forces action. If you're just like, I don't want to do it, but if all of a sudden you're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it forces, like it really does. Like it's a really crazy. It's just weird.
I do that. Like sometimes to get up, and sometimes like if I'm just standing in the shower, because I like just taking hot showers and just standing there and enjoying like thinking and just hanging out. So a lot of times I'll just want to keep just like standing in the shower, but I'm like, okay, I got stuff to do. I got to get out. So I'll give myself a countdown and like spin around a couple times.
That's a fun image to think about him in the shower.
You're welcome, people.
Just imagine like a little doo-doo.
Yeah, basically. I don't stick my hands up, but
yeah, we don't know that though. So
maybe I will next time, just for you.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I would do. Morning meditation. I don't know. I like doing night meditation because it just like makes me just relax and gets me prepared for a good night's sleep.
Yeah. I actually fall asleep very easily, so.
Well, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Do you wake up easily?
No.
Oh. So yeah, maybe that is good. It might put you back to damn sleep though.
That's the thing I'm worried about. So maybe like I won't do it in bed. I'll like get out of bed and
That's the thing though. So when you go to bed and you do meditation, usually your eyes are closed.
Right.
When you meditate, when you wake up, your eyes should be open, even if it's just black. And that's really, do that. Everyone on the podcast, try that. When you wake up in the morning and it's just pitch black or whatever,
Yeah.
and you don't really want to wake up, just keep your eyes open. See how hard it is. It's hard keeping your eyes open when it's pitch black.
My room
It's
isn't
really
pitch
tough.
black, so
Well, you're in a
maybe if I-
basement. You only got
maybe
that one.
if I come in here, it'll be better. Because, like, there's just one window, and it's a dark window. I'll try it. I'll come in here and sit in the middle of the couch. Give it a shot.
Do it to it, man.
Okay.
What time do you wake up in the morning?
Depends if I'm going into the office or not.
What if you're not going into the office? Well, we're in your office, aren't you?
Well, if I'm going into my company's office.
Ah.
Yeah, this is my office. But,
Haha.
usually like 7.
Jeez. What time do you go to bed?
It depends.
Midnight?
Yeah,
Really?
11. Yeah.
Damn, bad boy.
Yeah, but so when we were living together, I would get up and go work out in the mornings.
Mm.
So then I would get up at like 5. So I think when I'm done training for the bike ride, I'm going to start getting up early and going to the gym again.
How's that going?
The bike ride? Actually pretty good. My training's going a lot better than my dad's because my dad is like, he's been working on his house. So we have like, actually my aunt is there now. So he's been trying to get a bunch of stuff done before she came. So he just really started training a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Well,
I did a 30-something mile ride last week. Well, I guess, wow. That was like a couple weekends ago, actually. But
there's
then I've
33
done
miles.
some 21s. What is that? Oh, Belinda's vacuuming?
That doesn't sound like a vacuum.
What is that?
Sounds like she's dragging something.
Oh, yeah, she's vacuuming.
Oh. Well, I'll give you an update on my bike situation.
Yeah.
So, I have a coworker whose husband works for Quality Bikes.
Oh, really?
Yep. And
I actually knew a bunch of people that worked there.
he used to work at a bike
Wait,
shop.
what's his name?
Do you know him? I think I
Does
already
it start
did.
with
I feel like
does
this
it
is
start
data.
with a B?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Well, I'm trying to think of his name right now.
No, it's fine.
No, I think it's with an A. But
Okay.
so I was like, oh yeah, I bought this bike in February. And I was like, I noticed when I was riding it, like sometimes it would just randomly kind of like shift or like skip a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the heck? I was so annoyed. I was like, is that just the way it is or what? And he's like, no, with every new bike, it's like a house. When after a newly built house, it settles. Like all the wire housing and everything settles. So he's like the
gears.
the gears, the
Yeah.
shifting, the
Yeah.
brakes, everything settles.
I think they call it the cassette. That's like where all the prongs are to move the chain back and forth.
Yeah. Or chain ring or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, so I was like, I don't agree with that because it's a new bike, but it makes sense. But before that happened, I blew out my front tire.
How'd you do that?
I think I overinflated. I don't know how I did it because it didn't seem overinflated. I just like...
Do you fill it to what it says, like the max pressure on the tire is?
Yes. But I also think the pump that I have, which is the one that I think you have,
Yeah.
that you got from Amazon, it doesn't give you like when you set it on there, it doesn't give you an accurate...
Yeah, you got to actually pump it before it tells you what...
So like mine was like, I think I definitely overinflated it because I was like, it just kept going down. I'm like, it says I can keep going kind of.
Oh, weird.
Whatever. So that happened. But then, so I replaced it myself. And then I went on like a quick ride just to test it out because I didn't really trust my skills of changing, right? And then it worked fine. And then the next day I wanted to go for a ride. And then the tire was all flat. And I tried pumping it up and it just kept deflating. So then I pulled off the the rubber and looked at the tube, and there's a little baby hole in it. I'm like, what the hell?
No way.
So I was pissed about that, and then I made sure there was nothing poking out to do this. Didn't see it. But then I finally get this shifting problem. I take it to the bike shop for just a tune-up.
Yeah.
And I was a little peeved because I was there, sitting there waiting. They told me I was ready for 20, 25 minutes. And I'm like kind of like showing my visual. I'm not saying anything, but I'm visually like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, sorry, we had some like unexpected whatever. And I was like, unexpected? Like what? Because he's like, your bike had some like last minute things we had to troubleshoot.
Yeah.
And then first thing that my mind went to was like, did you even tune up my bike, or are you just like last minute tuning it up like right now? Because I was like,
rub some grease on the chain, call it good.
Kind of like, what the hell? And so he's like, oh no, your front tire randomly just popped. And I'm like, are you shitting me?
No way.
He's like, so we replaced the tube, no charge. And I'm just like, I'm now getting weirdly concerned about my front tire now, because that's the tire with the problem.
Is there like a burr on the rim or something?
I didn't see one when I replaced it the second time, so that's where I'm confused. But maybe they did it right. Maybe I don't know.
So have you ridden it since then?
Briefly, yes. But that goes into another problem where I just figured. So when I was doing my stride, I noticed my right foot was like twisting. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, so I was kind of jacking up my knee and everything because it was twisting.
Right.
Because the pedal was bent a little. So then whenever he stroke, it was like,
Yeah.
And so.
Is it like bent loose or like?
So I look at the pedal and it was like kind of loose, and I tried to like hand tighten it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't go. So then I just like unscrewed it a little bit and it just fell out. So like the crankshaft is essentially where the pedal screws in. Mm-hmm. That's like stripped.
No way.
And like, but the pedal itself is not stripped or anything. So I'm just like, I don't know if this is a me problem, or like I've only ridden it, probably like maybe 120, 150 miles total.
It's a new bike, right?
It's a new bike. So
yeah, so you should contact a company.
I sent an email to Quality Bikes. That's where I bought it online, or Bikes Online.
Yeah.
I said, hey guys, I don't know, but this is my problem. I don't know if this is a Marin problem, manufacturer, or if this is a you problem, but I don't think, based on what's happened, like, I don't think this is my doing with such a new damn bike.
Right.
I haven't heard back, though. I sent that last night, but I'm kind of like, I'm getting aggravated with, like, is this what it's like owning a bike where you have to, like, get maintenance all the time and, like, replace everything all the time?
No, that sucks.
Yeah.
The only thing, so I've replaced the tube and tire on my bike a few times. When I've always done it, I've always like stuffed the tube up into the tire before I put it on, just to make sure it's not getting like pinched when you inflate it. But that's the only suggestion I have.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. It's a learning experience, but I'm also like, okay, I'll do stuff what I think is right, and then if it blows up, that's on me. But when I take it to a bike shop and I pay for a service and it still gets jacked up,
you're like, maybe something else is going on.
And that's the other, like, so when I was riding it yesterday before the pedal situation, it still had like some shifting issues a little bit.
Yeah, I've noticed on my bike, like, that I've been riding it this summer, and I don't know if it's like the settling in like you were talking about, but if I'm like, my front gear is all the way up, or I don't know how the gearing will like the terminology, right? I'm going up a big hill. Yep. So I want it to be like the highest gear possible, maybe the lowest gear.
I'd say lowest, but
okay, the lowest gear possible, right?
Yep.
So my front one, there's 2 gears. My back one, I think, has like 7.
Mm-hmm.
But if my front one's on the low one and my back one is like, if I flick it over all the way to the low one, to get it to actually go to the lowest one, I have to hold it, like hold the shifter over. Otherwise, it doesn't actually go to the lowest one.
Interesting.
So if I'm at like towards the end of my ride, there's a couple of really big hills. So I'm like, I will hold the shifter over because I'm like, I need the lowest gear possible because this hill's killing me.
This is something that my coworker's husband told me too. I don't know. There's a term for it, like same chain ring or something.
Yeah.
He said avoid that if you can.
Oh, really?
He said it's something like the chain does not like that, or the gears or whatever don't like that. It's not good for the chain or something. He's like, so you can do it. He said, just don't do it for a long time. So if you're like going down a hill, don't put it on the highest gear at the front and the back or whatever, because it's pretty much the furthest out or furthest in.
Right.
He's like, the bikes don't like that. He said, you can do it, but just don't do it for a long time. Like if you are constantly doing that, it's not going to like you. So he's like,
it's good to know.
That's what he told me. He's like, he told me usually you should put when you're just riding, it should be on the front, the biggest chain ring.
Yeah.
And then adjust the small one in the back to get your cadence right and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, but get used to when you approach a stop sign, get it on the lower chain ring, and adjust the back to whatever. This is this is also a dude who went to Italy and bought a $9,000 7-pound bike. Wow. That's like completely made out of carbon fiber. So
that's crazy. Actually, so my dad knows a ton about bikes and how they work and like how to operate them the most efficiently and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure he listens to all these, so he might have ideas for you on what's wrong with your bike or what to do.
Like I said, I can't. Right now I'm in a holding pattern waiting to hear from Bikes Online to just, hopefully they'll send me another crank.
Yeah.
Because then I just say like, I don't know how much a crank is. I can't imagine they're like dirt cheap, but I can't imagine they're like super expensive.
So it's the part where like the actual pedal attaches to the thing that spins around?
Yep.
Okay.
So I don't know, but
yeah, that's weird that would be stripped.
But I'm just like, yeah, I
shouldn't be
pictures because I sent these to the people. I was like, hey, now looky here. Maybe not.
Oh yeah,
picture.
Maybe it's just from when they cranked it on before they shipped it to you.
It's possible.
Seems like the only thing that would make sense.
It just feels like, because when I took out the pedal and unscrewed it, just tons of like metal filings.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm like, is this like a metal quality or is this a?
It could be too.
I don't know. So.
Yeah, they should replace it for sure.
I mean, yeah.
It's got to be some kind of warranty.
Should be a manufacturer's warranty for something.
I agree.
So that'd be, would I go to Marin or would I feel like.
I would go to the company that sold it to you because they might just handle it even if you're
it's kind of like what happens with my company.
Yeah.
A dealer, Bikes Online is a dealer.
Yep.
I say, hey, I'm an end user. This product is faulty.
Right.
Bikes Online reaches out to Marin and says, hey, drop ship a freaking crankshaft to this dude.
Yeah.
And then that's exactly it. So
yeah.
Bougie.
And then they charge it to their own company.
Bikes Online or Marin, yeah.
But who should they charge? Who should they charge?
Marin should eat it. It's a manufacturing problem.
But they should mark it under Bikes Online, right?
Correct. 100% correct.
We were just talking about this, like your actual company, before we started recording.
Yeah.
That's why I brought
exciting stuff.
Inside jokes.
I can't come in.
Yep. Doors closed.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
I'm ill prepared, so I apologize.
I will prepare the last thing that I was going to mention. But you keep thinking if you had anything else. It'll take me a couple seconds to find it.
I'm thinking about starting a discount false teeth veneer company made out of recycled urinals.
Is that right?
We're going to call it Potty Mouth.
Did you just come up with that? That's not a bad plan.
I took it from one of my favorite shows.
Wow. Okay, so this is what I prepared. I told Alyssa I was gonna talk about this because I showed her the tweet that Andrew sent that we should talk about crypto on every episode. So here, this is for Andrew. It's my crypto topic of the day. I think one of the biggest misunderstandings about crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything else in the crypto space is the term cryptocurrency, because people hear that and they think Bitcoin wants to replace the dollar. Why would I want to use Bitcoin instead of the dollar? And I say, fair point. Bitcoin maybe doesn't make a great currency. I don't think Ether makes a great currency either, because it's deflationary, and you can argue that something that's deflationary discourages people from spending and it's bad for the economy, right? What I think is US dollar stablecoins are going to live on Ethereum rails, and that's what's going to power the economy. So you're still going to be spending US dollars, but it's going to be in an open and transparent system that is credibly neutral and not controlled by the big banks. Okay? So that is my thing. The term cryptocurrency is a misnomer. It should maybe be crypto assets. A lot of people have been using the term Web3. So I wrote this down that I was going to bring this up.
Okay.
And a couple of weeks ago, this bill that was proposed, bipartisan, by the way, a Democrat and a Republican headed it up, that is pro-crypto and brings up responsible regulation, which is what I talked about last time. It's amazing. Could be better. Could be a lot worse. It's really good because they worked with a lot of blockchain.
And it passed?
No, it didn't pass.
Oh.
They haven't voted on it yet. Congress has got bigger fish to fry right now, But
do they though?
But there was a committee. What does it say? Committee on Homeland Security. They had a meeting about it, and after I had written this down that I wanted to talk about cryptocurrency, the word cryptocurrency, because it's a misnomer and I don't like it. Somebody from the Blockchain Association, which is like a advocacy group for crypto, was in front of the Committee on Homeland Security talking about this bill, and she brought up the term cryptocurrency, so I want to play it for you. It's 1 minute and 41 seconds. I might cut it off early, but we'll see what she has to say.
It's critical to note that crypto is more than currency. Digital cash was the first use for crypto networks, but far from the last. American innovators, entrepreneurs, and developers are now using that same technology, crypto networks, to build the next iteration of the internet, sometimes referred to as Web 3. Web 1 refers to the early internet of the 1990s, when users could only do basic tasks like read websites and send emails. Web 2 refers to the internet we largely have today, with all its interactive applications and services. But just like the banking system, Web 2 is dominated by a few large companies, the tech giants, who wield outsized power and influence for their own benefit at the expense of the American public. Web 3, born from and built on crypto networks, is the solution to this imbalance of power. Web 3 brings property rights to the web. It not only allows individuals to own their own data and content, it also allows them to possess digital goods and property. Just like when the mainframe computer was replaced with personal computers and proprietary operating systems were replaced with web-based software, the opening up of internet platforms and the ability to have digital ownership that comes along with it will unleash immense innovation and change how we live, work, and play.
Incredible. She said it like I'd been thinking about how I wanted to say that. She said it 100 times better than I could ever say that.
Well, you could have got there eventually.
Kristen Smith. She works for, I think she's a director of the Blockchain Association.
So with that, after hearing that, with crypto and with all the potential and where it could be and where it will go, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I think is going to happen. When it gets rolled out, our generation, maybe not you and me specifically, but our generation are going to be the first ones who are like, I don't care. I just want to get this thing and I don't care about yes, my information I'll just send out because I don't care because they don't get it yet, right? I think it'll be not our kids, but our grandkids is when it's going to be protect your information. Like it'll be 2 generations out before I think they'll use it how it should be. Like protect the information that is yours.
I don't think it'll take that long. I think it, because like from the very early days of the internet, there was so much of it was about, oh my gosh,
puberty.
Excuse me.
That's when, that's what it.
So much of it was about like, being free and open, the free and open internet, like net neutrality. Like they built this thing, not for a specific purpose, but to allow people to do anything they want with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the same with Ethereum. Like she was saying, it's the next iteration of the internet, which I totally agree with.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I think maybe like one thing that I can say that I don't think anybody can argue with that is great about crypto is that it gives everyone in the world access to the US dollar. Mm-hmm. Because like through stable coins. So a lot of banks are like if you're living in a country that's got a hyperinflationary currency, or even not even hyperinflationary, just like very inflationary, which funny we're talking about the US dollar, but worse than that, you can store your money in crypto in US dollars. Nobody can take it away from you. Mm. That's the best part.
So, I mean, yes, I completely think that's amazing. What I'm thinking about, I'm comparing in my head, and this is probably wrong or not complete, is our generation with cell phones. We were the first generations to really pioneer that, right? And now look at where we are. Everyone's addicted to social media and their cell phones and technology. Yeah. So I'm just comparing, probably, and it's not a good comparison really, probably, but the cell phone saga with crypto, because crypto exists, but it's like, this is like crypto right now in the networks and what the general public uses is equivalent to like 1987 cell phones, right? The giant things in a car where like not everyone has them, right? And then, but I'm just also using my own opinion of like, when it does become readily accessible to the world and everyone, I think the early adopters won't know how to protect, quote unquote, their information. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like for me, I've asked myself that, like, if I could buy something on the Ethereum network, I'm just gonna, like, easily, I'd just be like, okay, and then they want some information of mine. It's like, well, I want the thing more than I want my information private. So like, I'm just gonna do it. But that's where I think the next generation is going to be like, no, you don't need to know my birthday. You don't need to know this. And like, I'll give you this in exchange for like whatever I want to give you, you know? So it'll be like a weird bartering system, right? Is that what it could be?
Yeah, it could be. But so here, this is what I will say about that. There are ways now that as long as you know what you're doing, you can obfuscate and like separate your daily, like, say I want to use USDC, the stable coin, to pay for everything, like to go to the grocery store and buy stuff. You can do that. You can get like a debit card through a company, have a separate account, store, like put some of your crypto assets into that account, USDC, whatever, and actually go to the store and swipe your crypto debit card and buy stuff. And that company can, like, that you have that debit card through, can track what you're spending your money on. But you can obfuscate it so they can't see how much money you have elsewhere. Where like a bank or a credit card company has all that information about you.
I see.
So yes, there is, and there's also a lot of focus on privacy in crypto, which is funny because like I can go and if someone sells me an NFT, I can look at the entire history of their account, and see like how much money they have in their account, like just because of the way that the Ethereum network works. But there's a lot of focus on privacy, and there's something coming down the line that is very dense technology, so I won't get into it, but it's called a zero knowledge proof. It's a cryptographic thing that basically you can prove that something is true without providing the evidence that it's true.
That sounds deep, man.
Through cryptography.
And that's just coding, right? Is that just cryptography, or is that
just math? Yep.
Well, just say math then.
Yeah.
Just
but
kidding.
it's like super complex cryptographic math. But
so it's like pictures on the wall of caves.
yeah, something like that.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah. So yes, privacy is a big thing. But yeah.
Cool. Well, again, next time I gotta bring my laptop, and you gotta learn me how to buy stuff.
Okay.
The right way, not the fake way.
Not through Venmo or whatever you did.
Yeah, that's fake buying.
PayPal.
I just did it.
PayPal said you can now withdraw your crypto from PayPal. I think Robinhood did that too. But anyway.
Yeah.
That's another story. Another story for another day.
Yeah. What else you got? Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, I got a real quick question.
Yeah.
It involves racing. So would you rather prefer to watch everyone has the same car and whoever wins the race is the better driver?
So NASCAR.
Yeah. Or would you prefer to have the
actually don't know if
fastest
that's
car?
true.
No matter the driver.
If I'm a competitor or if I'm a watcher?
Both.
I think I would rather watch who has the fastest car. Because it's kind of like the Pinewood Derby and Cub Scouts. Were you a Cub Scout?
Oh, yeah. Well, up until like 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah, so you know the Pinewood Derby, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like not everybody has the same car. You got to design your car, add weights to it, keep it right underneath the weight limit, make it nice and aerodynamic. I thought that was more fun than like if everyone just had the same car and it was more based on like something else,
Yeah, definitely.
But also I think if you're really into the sport, it would make sense why you would want everyone to have the same car and compare who's the better athlete, who's the better driver.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into a debate whether
race
car drivers are athletes.
Yeah, right. That is a good valid question point.
Yeah.
No, because I've been getting into, a lot of Formula One, and that's where right this season, what I've been noticing is like drivers from previous seasons are like, they're doing a lot better than other drivers.
Yeah. Lewis Hamilton, who like won the championship for like 6 years in a row until last year, is not doing well at all this year.
Correct. Right? The whole, his teammate is doing better than him.
Yeah.
And then, Red Bull's still doing really well, but Ferrari now has a really fast car. But
I'm a McLaren guy.
I am too.
Really?
I don't like Daniel Ricciardo as a driver. I like him as a person.
He's hilarious, but
he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't think I think he's a nutcase.
Really?
My dream team.
I like Lando Norris.
I do too. My dream team would be Sergio Perez and Lando Norris as a team.
That'd be sweet.
Because
it's like the vet and the rook. Except Lando Norris isn't really a rookie anymore. But
well, and he's
like 19, right?
Yeah, I think he's like 20. He might be under 20. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he
started racing when he was like 15 or 16.
They all start racing when they're in like the karting and stuff.
That's crazy.
But everyone was surprised because McLaren signed Lando Norris until 2026.
Oh, really?
Which is a super long contract for a driver. But everyone's just like that gives McLaren time to build the car around Lando, because Formula One is so much intense on like also the driver as well as the car.
Yeah. Is it like sports contracts where they can just break it off if they don't feel like keeping him that long?
I think it might be. I don't know the terms of that stuff, but because sometimes it's like they mention, oh, he's got 1 year left on his contract, but
Right.
is he going to make it, or are they going to cut him? Like,
Right.
I don't know
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah.
Because
So there's probably like I'm sure it's in the contract, but yeah.
But then it's like it's an interesting sport, and I like Formula One for this regard, where if someone does something crappy, the stewards let the teams battle it out,
Mm-hmm.
and if they can't come to an agreement, then the stewards give a direction, and that's mid race. I mean, that's like they give them a lap or two, and it's like, so I think that's kind of cool because then it can show sportsmanship of like,
right,
yeah, that was shady, or no, I held my racing line and we're right, blah blah blah.
Yeah, can they like compromise where they meet in the middle? Like, we're not going to take a 10-second penalty. We're going to take a 5-second.
Well, usually when it's like on the track, it's like you have to give the position back.
Oh,
so which is even crazy. That's where it gets also kind of skeptical too, is drivers can decide when to give the position back, and if it's before a DRS zone, they can just take it right back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like shady stuff like that, but it's super interesting too, because I love how like qualifying is so interesting. I think we talked about this last time, maybe.
Yeah.
Qualifying.
Yeah, I think
with
we did.
F1.
Yeah.
Where it's almost like a race within a race.
Right.
Where it's like you have 10 minutes and then the top 15 advance, and the bottom 5, those are their positions. And then Q2 is like another 10 minutes, and then the bottom 5 of that, so those are their positions. And then the last Q3 is another, like the best times, that's the grid. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really cool because those are the fastest times you're going to see. They don't get those times during the race. But anyway.
All right.
So that was like,
I'm gonna give you a speed round of athlete or not athlete. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And you can only say yes or no.
So the question is this whatever you say an athlete? Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay.
Cheerleaders.
No. I really want to say yes though, because I think it's a competition. Yeah, I'd say yes. Sorry. Speed round. Yep.
I'll accept that answer.
Okay.
Race car drivers.
Athlete, no.
Um,
Competitor, yes. Not athletes.
Poker player.
No.
I figured you were going to say no if you said no to race car driver. Esports.
Is that video games people?
Yes.
No.
I'm out of ideas. You want to give me some?
I'll give you some.
Okay.
Okay. Cheerleader.
Yeah.
CrossFit.
Yeah.
Tennis.
Yeah.
Golf.
Yeah.
Speed reading.
No.
Chess.
No.
Soccer.
Yes. I don't know why I had to think about that one.
What's the catamaran boat things?
I don't know enough about it, but I would say yes.
Okay. Bicyclist.
Yeah.
Trying to think of obscure things. Skydiving.
I don't think you do that competitively, so no.
Synchronized diving.
Yes.
Curling.
Yes.
Downhill skiing.
Yes.
Snowboarding.
Wait, down like alpine skiing?
I don't know what that is.
Like, I think alpine skiing or slalom skiing where you like weave between stuff, or what kind?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah.
All skiing.
Yeah.
Cross country
I
skiing.
don't know why I needed to clarify that. Yeah, pretty much all skiing is athletic.
What about like that one documentary, The Alpinist?
The free solo?
Free solo. No, is that what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's free soloing. Is that
Yeah, for sure.
I guess the question is athlete. I'm thinking of sport. Yeah, half of these are damn athletes.
Like soccer players.
And here I'm thinking like, is that a sport? I guess. I mean, we've talked about this, I think, in our earlier episodes. Is CrossFit a sport?
I don't think it's a sport. Do they have competitions? I guess
Yeah.
they do, because they're like
Competition
you gotta,
or
like, do
a
the
sporting
pull-up,
event? Is there a
do the-
difference between
do the
there? Should we
pull-up.
distinguish between the two? What is a sporting event versus a competition?
badminton. I guess is a sporting event.
Is
think-
chess a sporting event or
I
a
think
competition?
all sporting events are competitions, but not all competitions are sporting events.
I kind of like that definition.
Thank you.
So not all sporting events are competitions.
Yes.
So is that when...
No, that's not what I said. All sporting events are competitions, but not all competitions are sporting events. You can compete in something that's not a sport.
Give me an example.
I
CrossFit.
don't know.
Wouldn't free soloing be in that distinction? You're competing. You're like, it's a sporting event, but are you competing against someone? Yourself doesn't count.
I guess you just destroyed my definition. Because I agree that is a sporting event, but it's not a competition.
But they also time it so you can have the best time.
That's
technically
true.
that gives you a tier system
That's
or something.
True.
So
But what about like in the movie Free Solo, where he's climbing something without a harness that nobody's ever done before? He's not like competing for a time.
True.
I don't know. Have you ever seen that movie?
I have.
It's like very good.
It's tragic.
Yeah, he dies. Oh, sorry, I spoiled it. It's kind of cool that you get to watch it though.
No, that's where I was. Well, okay, some things
He doesn't die. That was a joke.
depends who you're talking about.
True.
Yeah, his girlfriend was super hot, and they lived in a tent. I thought that was so funny.
No, they live in his van.
No, but like when she was talking about how they first met, like they just kind of hit it off, and then she's like, it's like, I live in a tent out the thing, and I was kind of like, I can do that, and I joined him. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny, but that's a great movie, documentary, documentary, yeah,
Yeah, it's a documentary.
yeah.
You got any other athlete or not athletes? I want you to like. I think esports are athletes, but I don't think poker players are athletes. But there are people that argue they are.
So, what makes an esport person an athlete?
You have to have like incredible hand-eye coordination and reaction time, and you can train that like a muscle. That's what I would say.
Okay.
I think so maybe I should preface this. Maybe not all esports are athletes, but I'm thinking like CS:GO, like Counter-Strike.
Don't know what that is.
It's like Call of Duty.
Okay.
But a lot more competitive. I think those people are athletes because
they have strategy or what?
I've played a lot of Counter-Strike, and it's hard. It's really hard. Like, people are very good at it.
Do you think they're using mods and they're cheating?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that, but like in competition, there's not a lot of that.
Okay, here's a question.
Yeah.
Do you think... So, define natural athlete versus not natural athlete.
Define it?
Like, in your words, how would you use those terminologies? This is interesting to me because I have a couple schools of thought, and then I have a cool idea.
I would say a natural athlete is someone who is, without training, significantly better at sporting events than the average person. The key being without training.
Without training. Okay. So unnatural athlete is someone who trains?
Wait, unnatural athlete? That's not a thing.
Well, okay, so what's the opposite of a natural athlete?
It's a dunce. I don't know. Somebody that's not good at, not athletic. It's not unnatural. It's just naturally unathletic.
Natural athlete. I'm thinking of
someone who trains would be unnatural. But I mean, you can be a natural athlete and train to be even better.
Sorry. So what I meant to say is like really the steroid question. What is that? Performance enhancing drugs?
Yeah. There are some people that are like, you should have separate leagues for like.
That's what I think.
Steroids people and
I want to see
people.
I want to see the precipice of human potential, and I want to see if people are willing to. I want to see their hearts explode on the field. But
I don't think.
Okay, like for instance, Usain Bolt, fastest man in the world, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Big yawn. Sorry, you're not boring me. I promise.
Would he be better if he juiced?
Yeah, probably. Have you ever seen?
Don't you want to see how fast the human can actually be, regardless?
I think that we've talked about this documentary on the podcast before. I'm trying to remember the name of it. There's this documentary that was on Netflix. It probably still is. I don't know. I watched
Icarus.
it years ago. Yeah, Project Icarus. Right?
Yeah.
Project Icarus?
No, just Icarus.
Yeah.
But it's about that, yeah.
Yeah, it's about... So, if you've never seen it, people listening, it's about a guy that sets out to see if he can dope and get away with it and become, like, an incredible cyclist and, like, compete in the Tour de France. And then, turns out he, like, makes his way into, like, this, like, Russian doping program that they used for the Olympic athletes. Like, that they got busted on a few years ago. So, super good documentary, but that's what I was just thinking of when you said that.
So, when I go back to that in, like, natural athlete versus not, that's kind of where I was going with that is, so, athletes who don't juice, but do copious amounts of vitamins, protein, and supplements and stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line at natural?
That's actually a really good question. And
because it's not you can't find that kind of quantity of protein and supplements in nature.
That's true.
If you were a caveman, so to speak.
But maybe it's like non-synthetic ingredients. Maybe that's where you draw the line.
Yeah, that could be. But what's defined synthetic?
Not naturally occurring.
But like, where are you going to get all the components of whey protein in nature if it's not synthetically made in a lab?
I don't know. I'm not a food scientist.
I don't know. I'm posing the question because someone brought that up to me, like, because I was like, yeah, well, it'd be cool just to, not do steroids and be in shape. And they're just like, well, what's, natural athlete, define that. And I'm like, not use steroids. Well, so you could use every supplement under the sun and protein and all that stuff, and you're considered that natural. And I'm like, well, when you put it that way.
Yeah, I think if you look at most like major sporting organizations banned substances, most of it is not steroids. I mean, obviously that's in there, but there's a lot of stuff that's not steroids. And like there's tons, like I feel like every year you hear about NFL athletes that get suspended for taking substances on the banned list, but it's like they didn't do it on purpose. It was just they took the wrong supplements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one sport I would not want juicing or anything like that involved in would be baseball, because the baseball stadium doesn't get any bigger.
Yeah,
you can just crush home runs so easily. It's like,
yeah, but
even now the
pitchers can throw faster.
True.
Boom.
True.
And who hates seeing games with a bunch of home runs? Nobody. Keep it interesting.
I do, truthfully. Whenever I see highlight reels of just home runs, I'm like, this is the stupidest. Like, this has gotten so dumb. Like, there's not even any plays anymore. Like, the double play is the most exciting thing about the damn sport now.
Always has.
They took away the running into the catcher, which that's not the reason I like those plays. It created a play at the plate.
Yeah, that's true.
And now they've removed that. And now I think the position with baseball and this is probably going to get a lot of haters. That's fine. It's just a drama fest with ejections and umpires and managers
I'm gonna be
throwing
honest with
fits.
you.
Yeah,
I haven't watched a baseball game in like 4 years.
yeah. I watch a lot of highlights, and when I see highlights, all I see is ejections now, and it's like for really stupid things, and I'm like,
Yeah.
like this is how they get people to watch.
Yep.
That's their new strategy because
that's why
baseball was declining.
That's why the Twins kept Ron Gardenhire as their manager for like 15 years, even though they sucked.
Oh, the Minnesota Twins. We already talked about that, so we won't have to go there. But
All right.
Well, I got nothing left.
Yeah, me too. I'm out of topics.
All right. Well,
Thanks for listening.
yeah. Thanks for listening. Maybe next time we'll have Brian on the show.
Maybe. Let me know, listeners, if you want more short crypto topics, because I have tons I can provide. But if people don't want it, I won't waste your time.
Yeah, and let us know if you have something. Give us a topic, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, why not? You got a question?
What's that?
I said, you got a question? We'll answer it.
Yeah, we'll give you the right answers.
You got athlete or not athlete? We'll hit yes or no.
Yeah, what do you guys think? What is a natural athlete, and what do we distinguish? What do we call it?
Okay, I think the one we disagreed on the most, whether athlete or not athlete, was esports. So
I thought it was chess.
You didn't say chess. You think chess players are athletes?
I think they're competitors.
Okay. So let us know if you think esports players are athletes.
Or give us the most controversial ones that you think are
True.
athletes and which are not athletes.
Yep. Twitter @CouchBeersPod, Instagram @CouchBeersPod, CouchBeersPodcast@gmail.com. I actually don't think I've looked at the actual email in a long time.
Why don't we have a LinkedIn page for
Should we?
our podcast?
You do that. You're in charge of the LinkedIn page.
I don't know.
That's why we don't have one.
All right, thanks y'all.
Okay, see ya.